Hello everybody, my name is Zen and welcome back to more of our Wildstar beta coverage. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Exile's starting zone. It's a zone that I call the tutorial zone. It's not necessarily the starting zone in my head. There's two after that we'll take a look at as well. But the tutorial area is a lot better than the Dominion one at least. And it starts off with a story one just like the Dominion. So let's take a look.
I'm sorry, sir. Our last jump to the Nexus system overloaded the reactor in that section. This ship is more than 3 centuries old.
Just find that cryopod. She's got to be there. Sadie. Sadie Brightland.
I know the name, Mr. Brightland.
Just call me Deadeye. Now quit arguing and get my wife out of cryo.
Internal sensors are out. Ship's records are unreliable at best. Wait, I think I found it. A functioning pod. Firing up the retrieval system. Magnetic clamps released.
Lucky for you found her. Sadie got her. Hey, be careful.
Sorry. Hydraulics are leaking. Hold on. Damn. The records were wrong. This isn't her. She's in a different silo.
Fine. Then whoever you just woke up is gonna help me track her down.
Reanimation nearly complete. All vitals look solid.
Good. We're gonna need every able-bodied exile we got.
So that's the intro thing, and it's pretty cool that the game has a really fleshed out story, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But there are a few cutscenes right at the beginning here, which kind of, give you an introduction, I guess. It's a pretty good introduction. At least the voice acting is really good, and the animations are quite cool.
You found her. Sadie, can you hear me? Everything's gonna be okay.
And to prove it's a tutorial area, they want you to dodge the crap on the ground as you just go over here. And then you go straight into another one of these little cutscenes, which push you up into the next spot.
She ain't looking too good. She's got the cryo sickness. We need to get her to medbay, and fast.
And there's really only one left that makes a difference. There's a few others that happen, but they don't necessarily have story arcs behind them. It's just, showing you an area. But this next one is a little glitchy. Remember, it's beta, and it happens. But hopefully it will work properly at launch. Also, my graphic settings are fairly low right now because the game is not optimized yet. And because of that, I need to be running the game fairly low settings.
Hang on, Sadie. We'll be there soon. Gotta admit, friend, I'm surprised we made it this far. Us exiles, we've been on the run from the Dominion for a long time. And this old ship's on her last leg. Strange to think that we might just finally get a new home. I wouldn't exactly call myself personable, but I feel like if we all just stick together, we might just be okay. And I ain't above shooting anyone who thinks different. It looks like we're here. I'm obliged for your help, friend. Glad I didn't kill you.
Alright, I can't wait for the game to be optimized because this game is going to look incredibly pretty when it is, with all the settings all the way up. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about the story as we go through this tutorial area. And there's nothing too special here. All I can say is that it is just a lot better than the Dominion one because there's a lot less running around and there's a lot more killing, a lot more action, and it flows better than the Dominion one does. Either way, let's talk about the story. So the Exiles are a group of races that have been pushed from their homeworlds and have kind of bound together and become this ragtag group of people who are trying to fight the Dominion. In fact, they end up coming to this planet that we're at called Nexus, and they want to make it their home. Little do they know that Nexus was the homeworld of the Elden. The Elden are a old race of technologically advanced people. Nobody really knows too much about them. What we do know is the Cassians believe that the Elden, before they left, disappeared, whatever happened to them, gave the Cassians the right to rule over all of the galaxy. And the Cassians from Cassis then created the Dominion and started taking out the entire galaxy and started ruling over it. Now, they picked up a few races along the way, like the Draken, the Chua, and the, what are they called? The Makari, there you go, the mechanized people. So they pick them up, and that's part of the faction that you see as the Dominion. The Exiles, have their own thing going on, but like I said, the Exiles came to Nexus to make it their home, but the Dominion learned about Nexus as well and have come here seeking all the secrets of the Elden, because they kind of see the Elden as gods almost. They created the Makari, which are one of the races in the Dominion, and they apparently, believe it or you could believe it or you can't believe it, whatever happened, the Cassians believe that they gave them the right to rule over the rest of the galaxy. So with that in mind, they believe that the world Nexus is theirs. It's rightfully theirs. It's their rightful legacy. So that's what's going on here. And that's kind of the story. So both factions have showed up to the same planet, and then right here you're noticing that the Dominion show up, find that the Exiles are here, and start attacking them. And you kind of have to evacuate the ship and get down to the planet as soon as possible. It's a pretty cool setup for a story. It's got a lot of really rad themes. It's got, themes from Stargate, themes from Star Trek even in there. There's a lot of cool Star Wars themes in there. It's basically a giant Western in space. So it's got a lot of that Star Wars feel to the story, with the elements from like the ancient race of people who were technologically advanced. That's, let's call it as it is. That's the ancients from Stargate. And I'm a huge Stargate fan, so instantly I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I love it. You give me a Stargate reference, I'm like, yes, I want it now. But that's just the guy I am. The story itself goes way more in depth than that. I've barely scratched the surface on what the story actually is, and that's saying a lot, because usually I get absorbed into story and I just eat it up, But let's talk about what we're doing here. So the Dominion made it aboard the ship. You just kill them real quick. There's a couple path quests here, and then you go through the teleporter and it takes you into the next area. In this next area, it's pretty big. There's a lot of stuff to do here. You have to... it's big relatively. It's big tall-wise, I think is the best way to put it. Because you have to defuse bombs. Once you're done defusing the different bombs up on the top level, then you have to come down and read the books. Once you're done reading the books, you talk to her and you skedaddle. But it's pretty easy to get lost in here. The Dominion have one just like this, except it's way easier to get lost on that one. I'm glad that they've made some changes since the last time I've played to that one to make it a bit better to figure out where the heck you're going. But for the first time going through these, it sucks. So I'm glad to be making these videos, especially if you guys haven't played the game yet, because it'll give you an idea of where to go, what to click on to get through these tutorial areas the quickest you can. Because by far the tutorial areas are the worst part of the game, in my opinion at least. Especially the Dominion one, it's quite a shame. You get through the Dominion one and suddenly you're doing the quest outside of it in like the first and second zone there that you get to go to, and it's like, wow, why wasn't this the tutorial area? Like, I don't understand. Don't get me wrong, the tutorial area isn't bad, it's just not well designed in the way that it doesn't flow well. Once you understand it, you can get it done. I think I get mine done in approximately 10 to 15 minutes. I can get the entire tutorial zone done, which is, it's pretty good, right? I think I could do it in less than that. I think I could do it in about 8 if I sped run it, but a lot of the time I'm talking to people, or I'm looking over at my other screen because something popped up, or something like that. But I'm pretty sure I could do it in 8 minutes, which means that you can get through the worst part of the game in 8 minutes and get straight into the cool stuff right away. But this zone is a lot better for the Exile, so I gotta give them credit for that. This one just flows a bit better, and I don't know what they were thinking with the Dominion one. Maybe they can make changes before the game comes out. However, with this, you've noticed that like it's all pretty logical, the directions you need to go. I hate the book quest where you have to run around, click on books, but it is a tutorial teaching you that, yeah, you'll have to probably do this kind of stuff in the rest of the game, and you definitely will. Like, you'll definitely have to click on these things with these orange cogs that pop up, and you'll have to, kill quests, and you'll have to go click on things and return them and equip items and stuff. It's teaching you how to play the game, and I can imagine it's pretty helpful for people who have not really played too much of an MMO before, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of people drawn to the game that haven't played MMOs. But I just personally fly through it and don't really like it. Maybe it is because I like MMOs and I play a lot of them that I understand the concepts. Either way, you're seeing here as we're moving on, we got the plants to safety because we're the good guys. Don't ask me. It's weird. And now we're able to move on and kill these things. Once you're done killing these things, you get to move on to killing the big robot up to the north here. There are a lot of path quests. Like, I have an explorer one in the middle that I did, but you guys aren't seeing it in this video because it's not relevant. Watch the explorer video. I'm sure you'll see it. However, with this big robot, it is a public event. Anybody can come up and just start attacking it, and it gets credit for it as long as you've hit it, which is nice. It makes it easy for if you have a group. But you blast through this, you get them dead, and then you go all the way back down to the southern end, which I don't like. I don't like that you have to run all the way down there. Why not put the teleporter up over here? To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't flow very well, which is a lot of the problems that the Dominion one has. But once you've done that, you go through the teleporter, and then you're able to go and get ready to move on, basically. This is where you branch off into your two different starting zones. You talk to this person. They'll tell you to either go to the north or the south of where you're at right now. And with that, you decide, like, you go talk to that person, and then it gives you an option of going to the north one if you were going to the south. So say I'm going to the south, and I need to talk to the person, and then it would give me an option once I've talked to them to go to the north. Just keep that in mind that you can go to one or the other, and once you've done that, that's it. You can't switch between the two. So make sure you've made up your mind. It makes a big difference. But we'll be showing you both of the next zones all together. And with that being said, we shall see you guys next time.
Shuttle 2, y'all are clear to launch. I hear tell Everstar Grove's just about the prettiest place on Nexus, which ain't surprising, since it's named after Queen Mayala herself. You see her, tell her I said hi.